Hello, I'm Marielle, founder of The Inspired Femme. Thank you so much for being here. Today, I wanted to get started on sharing what my plans were, what it is that I do, basically, what my routine is as we approach the end of the year and we start prepping for a new year. So, in terms of my financial journey, it literally starts now. I start planning, I start organizing my thoughts and my ideas. I start visualizing the new year, but I also take some time to think of what happened or what transpired this year, what was good, bad, the ugly, and what can be done better. And so this was something that someone asked me to share. And I think that I am going to do that with the intention of hopefully encouraging you to start your own process. I am a planner at heart. I love to plan. I love a good piece of paper and pen and just writing things. I know that a lot of people do not plan, that they don't like that they don't, have goals. But I encourage you for this year, for this upcoming year, to actually have plans and take a piece of paper and write them down. And the reason for this is that life happens, and unfortunately, things don't always go our way. But if you have your goals and plans on a piece of paper or somewhere, maybe on your computer, when life happens and you feel down, you are able to go back and you are reminded that whatever situation that you're in is temporary and that you can always adjust and go back. And so for me, that is the importance of going, of writing things down. So this year has been a very hard year, but I have had the opportunity of going back to my journal, seeing what my notes were, seeing what my goals were, and kind of using that as a moral compass to kind of get back on track when moments were really hard. And so I think that that's the beauty of it. And another thing that I want you to keep in mind is that goals are written on paper with pencil. You can always go back and change them. You can scratch them off. You can take a new paper and write them. So you can always adjust them. They're not written on stone. You can change these. That being said, let's get started. In my process, before I even start thinking or creating a budget for the new year, I start with this piece right here. And this is the annual sinking fund list that I have. And it's a template that I created. And this is the one for 2024. And so I have here the Bad Bitch Savings Challenge. A lot of you know that it's already on sale, so you should grab it. But I want to also go over on how I utilize this. So staying on topic with the annual sinking fund, for those of you that are new to this process, I want to explain very easily what a sinking fund is and why you should start with your sinking fund list before you even start thinking of a budget. So a sinking fund is a specific savings fund that you set aside for a particular financial goal or expense that is expected to occur in the future. Okay, this is a proactive way to save money gradually and consistently to ensure that you have funds available when you know an expense or financial obligation will arise. So think of it this way, and this is like such a perfect example because I think a lot of you can relate. Christmas happens every single year, every December. We all know that. Yet, so many people get into debt because they did not plan properly. It's not because it was unexpected. We know Christmas is coming. We just failed to plan. Okay, so a sinking fund is going to help us avoid this situation. So there are a few steps that I have identified that for me are very, very important in this process. And I'm going to share them with you. So take out a piece of paper and start doing this with me. Step number one, you're going to identify the financial goal or expense. Okay, you're going to clearly define the purpose of your sinking fund. This can be an upcoming expense like a vacation, a home renovation, a major purchase, surgery, your annual insurance premium, or any other expenses that are not part of your monthly expenses. So I'm not talking about your cable bill. That doesn't go here, okay? So I'm going to share with you some of the categories that I have. Remember, this is a draft, which is why I start in November so I can see how it looks and then make changes accordingly. So my category list, I have birthdays, anniversary, bubbas, which are my pets. I have car maintenance, I have home improvement, I have a sweet 16, I have Christmas, I have an emergency fund, I have school registration, and I have a sinking fund for concerts because I have identified that there are some concerts in 2024 that I would like to attend, and so I am planning for that. Okay, so moving right along, step number 2. You're going to determine the target amount. You're going to calculate the total amount that you need for this specific financial goal, okay? So you're gonna do this individually by category. So here are my goal amounts. So I said for birthdays, I'm going to allocate $3,000. For anniversary, I left it blank because I have no idea what I'm doing, gifting or anything. And again, this is my first draft. Then I have the bubbas. This, I know I need $2,500. I need to fund this account with that amount because I have multiple pets and that is more or less the expense. And so you can see here that I have continued. I didn't put anything here because I don't know. And this is my first draft and that is okay. So I've assigned different amounts. I want you guys to focus on this one because this is the example that I'm going to use continually. So step number 3, you're going to set a timeline. You're going to determine when you need to have this fully funded. And so here, you can see that it varies. So for birthdays, I know I want it fully funded by July 24th. But the bubbas, I know I want it fully funded by September. And then I have a school registration that I need it fully funded by January 2025 because I know that that is when this registration is due. So this part is very important, okay? So you set a timeline because this is how you're going to be able to calculate how much money you need and by when. And then step number 4, you're going to break it down. You're going to then divide the total amount that you need, so this right here, by the number of months, so here, and that is how you're going to get your monthly sinking fund contribution. So going back to the bubbas, I know that in order for me to have by September $2,500, I need to plan to save $278 every month from January all the way through September. Okay, that is what I have done here. Okay. So step number 5, you're going to create a separate savings account, okay? You're going to open a separate savings account or designate a specific envelope or digital wallet or jar, I don't care, but you're not putting this money with your savings. You're not putting it with your checking. You are not combining any of these sinking funds together. This is completely different. And I will link some financial institutions that I have used that I personally recommend because they work for me. Please do your own due diligence and see what financial institutions work for you and your needs. If you go to my account as an example, you will see on one of the institutions that I use, I have about 12 different funds or accounts, and they are all named with these categories. And that is how I stay organized, and that is what I recommend. Again, you don't have to open accounts. You can do this in jars and envelopes, like so many different ideas. The key here and the takeaway is that you are not combining this. You're not putting it with your checking. You're not putting it with your, spouse's savings. This is completely separate. Step number 6, and it's not needed, but I do recommend it. It is to automate your contributions. To set up automatic transfers from your main account to your sinking fund account on a monthly basis or weekly or whatever time frame that you decide. And this is because out of sight, out of mind. Sometimes it's easier. I work with clients that is the best option for them. If you have a lot of discipline, if you have worked on that side, then you do not have to automate things. But that is also an option for you. Step number 7, stay consistent. Okay, make your sinking fund contribution a non-negotiable part of your budget. You're going to treat them like any other fixed expense. That is very important. Consistency. Step number 8, and this goes back to what I started saying at the beginning. You're going to monitor and adjust. You're going to regularly review your progress and ensure that you're on track. But you're also going to adjust your contribution if you see necessary. Especially if the cost of your goal changes or your timeline shifts. So this is a plan. This is the ideal outcome. But if throughout the journey, something happens and I am forced to make adjustments, if I were to figure out that I don't need to have the Bubba's account funded at $2,500 because $2,000 is plenty, then I am going to go back to my plan and I am going to adjust the goal amount. I'm going to adjust the number of months and I'm going to adjust the monthly contribution. So you are able to make changes. Number 8, and this, number 9, and this is like probably the most important one, is avoid dipping in. You need to discipline yourself not to use a sinking fund for any other purpose than its intended financial goal. This is so important. It is essential for you to maintain the fund's integrity. If you say that you need $3,000 for birthdays, please don't go and take $500 from that savings and buy yourself some sneakers. Like, don't do that, okay? You need to have discipline. You need to hold yourself accountable. Like I said, it's essential for you to maintain the fund's integrity. So that is step number 9, and it is so important. Step number 10 is equally important, and this one is celebrating your milestones. As you reach the milestone in your sinking fund journey, take a moment to celebrate your progress. Take a moment to pat yourself on the back. This will help you stay motivated and committed to your goal. Okay? I will always praise the sinking fund plan. I love it. I think that it is, I think that sinking funds are an excellent financial tool for planning and saving for anticipated expenses. This is going to help you reduce the need for credit card usage. It's going to help you not dip into your emergency fund. And it's going to just help you and give you peace of mind. This has been such a challenging year for me financially, and this is coming from someone who is pretty organized. Um, and all I kept thinking throughout this entire process was, wow, I cannot imagine how much more difficult this situation would be had I not had my financial security, which is not my, parents' fund. It's basically what I have achieved in my financial journey, and that's just being organized and disciplined and having this saving for a rainy day mentality. And this is what I encourage you to do. That's why I'm always going to be an advocate of financial literacy. So, that being said, this is what the end looks like. At the end, you take this, you add it up. This is my monthly goal. And then in a separate video, I will show you what it is that I do with this and how I start to kind of map this to my budget, which I will start probably in the next week or so, just drafting some ideas on what my 2024 budget plan is going to look like. This I want to, and hopefully you guys are motivated to start your own sinking fund list, at least a draft. If you have questions, list them below. Let's prepare for 2024. Let's prepare for an amazing and abundant and prosperous year. If you don't know how to manage the small, you're not going to know how to manage the big. And so if you have big goals, start with little. Start managing whatever little amount of money you have now. So when that big opportunity comes, which it will, you are set and you know exactly what you have to do and how to manage your finances. So that being said, I hope you liked this video. I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, if you have more ideas on topics, please share them with me. I'm more than happy to help you help yourself. So remember to share the video, to like and subscribe. Thank you.